Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Martial Master based on novel. So let's start. Qin Chen's movements were so pleasing to the eye, it was shocking to be seen. Exclamations abounded. Although Shang Gukong and the others were not pharmacists, they had also seen pharmacists refining. It was the first time that they saw the refining of pharmacists like Qin Chen. Alchemy can still be so artistic. Among all the people who were even more shocked was the ancient medicine master. The so-called layman watched the excitement and the expert watched the doorway. Judging from Qin Chen's method, what he was using was actually an ancient alchemy technique, which was the technique he had obtained. But this set of techniques was given to Qin Chen only 2 days ago. That is to say, Qin Chen only realized the posture he showed in less than 2 days, but he was more proficient than him. You must know that the ancient medicine master spent thousands of years in order to master this barren ancient alchemy before he mastered a trace of his skin. This is simply incredible. If Qin Chen used other alchemy techniques, he might not have been so shocked, but he was using the ancient alchemy technique, and the ancient medicine master was shocked and his scalp numb, and goosebumps all over his body came out. Qin Chen naturally ignored the thoughts of the people around him and was completely immersed in the refining. The reason why he can proficiently operate this barren ancient alchemy is indeed related to his heaven-defying alchemy cultivation base, but there is another reason, that is, the heavenly barren ancient alchemy that the ancient medicine master took out is actually related to the ancient times of the Tianwu continent alchemy pole. The similarity seems to come from the same source. Qin Chen had mastered the ancient alchemy when he was in the Tianwu continent, but now he has come to the heavens and learned the ancient alchemy, so naturally there is no discomfort. But Qin Chen was also a little surprised. It was his feeling of using the ancient alchemy. Even if the ancient alchemy and the ancient alchemy originated from the same source, after all, he was the first time to use the ancient alchemy, so he should be familiar with it. The process of. But when he started refining, he found that he seemed to be driven by an arm. Those who were proficient could no longer be proficient, as if he had mastered it in the dark. Of course, Qin Chen was not in the mood to care too much, but devoted himself to refining. The master of ancient medicine was fascinated by seeing. From Qin Chen's refining, he saw a lot of his own shortcomings, and found countless of his previous faults. At this moment, he almost had an epiphany. There is also a new understanding. Listening to your words is better than reading 10 years. The current master of ancient medicine is at such a stage. Awesome. Too amazing. Genius. Chen Xiao is simply a genius. Take it. The old man completely took it. Throughout the refining process, the ancient medicine master kept muttering. His eyes were frantic, like a fan of idols, his eyes were red, and he was completely crazy. At this moment, from the body to the soul, he completely surrendered to Qin Chen. And when Qin Chen and the others were refining Huanggu Ichi pill, ancient Fang Zhaizhong, the strong Jiyu Fengzhai who got the news was on the verge of rage. Boom! The terrifying aura swept away, and the meeting room in the ancient Fengzhai was suddenly messed up and messed up. Damn it, asterisk 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 it, Jiyu Yaotang dared to kill Ouyang Cheng. I will break this kid into 10,000 pieces before I can relieve my hatred. A middle-aged man hissed and roared, and rules emerged around his body, as if it turned into a universe of stars, suppressing a world, and the anger, like 100,000 volcanic eruption, soared into the sky, billowing. This person is the master of Jiyu Fengzhai Feng Buchuan. Lord Zhai, what nonsense. You order now. Our Jiyu Fengzhai will immediately kill the ancient medicine hall and avenge Ouyang Cheng. A brawny man at the peak of the early days of the Holy Land was full of murderous aura, his eyes staring into the size of a copper bell, and his anger was soaring. Yes, kill the ancient medicine hall to avenge Ouyang Cheng. A strong man named Jiyu Fengzhai roared with murderous aura. Unprecedented shame, this is the strongest shame in the history of Jiyu Fengzhai. Jiyu Fengzhai has never been so humiliated since its establishment for so many years. Not many people knew about the grievances between Gu Fangjai and Gairotang, but after the incident today, the news had already spread out with the departure of those guests. The sage strongman of Tangtang Gufangjai was actually beheaded by the people of the ancient medicine hall in the ancient medicine hall lobby. Such news spread out like an earthquake and spread in this area. If it weren't for a grand event in Tsengshuan City soon, and countless powerful people and geniuses gathered in the city, and their attention was drawn to the grand event, news like this would definitely shock the entire Tsengshuan City. Even so, it has brought a lot of trouble to Jiyu Fengjai, and many forces secretly asked what happened between Jiyu Fengjai and the ancient medicine hall. Shut up all to me. Jiyu Fengjai's master Feng Buchuan's face was gloomy. Go to the ancient medicine hall to get revenge, lightly speaking. What day is it now? The day of the Kangshuancheng Grand Meeting. This incident is our Jiyu Fengjai. If things go wrong, our Jiyu Fengjai will definitely enter. Retreating from the dilemma, making trouble at this time, if we are misunderstood by the city lord's mansion, then our Gufeng fast will be over. Master Zhai, should that be the case? Forget it. Who said it? We signed an agreement with Jiyu Yarotang, here in black and white. Now there is only 1 day left before the contract expires. Wait, as long as we wait until tomorrow, we will go up with the contract, not afraid that his ancient medicine hall will not recognize it. At that time, I saw what the ancient medicine hall had to say. As for the guy who killed Ouyang Cheng, he must die. Feng Buchuan's face was pale, and the power of the mid-earth holy stage swept unscrupulously, showing his inner anger. Unexpectedly, it has been a long time since Feng Buchuan made a move. The people of Kangshuancheng had forgotten his reputation. Tsengshuan City Shiqing District Administration Office. An earth-sage strong man wearing a stewardship suit sat tremblingly. Above the main seat, an old man sat there, listening to the report of the strong man wearing a stewardship suit. If anyone sees this scene, they will be shocked. This earth-sage powerhouse wearing a stewardship is exactly Zhu Anming, the steward of the Shiqing district of Tsengshuan City. Tsengshuan City, like other cities, is divided into 4 urban areas in the southeast, northwest, and northwest. Each urban area has a governing house. The governing office is appointed by the city lord's mansion and is in charge of a city. But at this moment, the director of Shiqing district is so horrified in front of this old man. How can people not be surprised? This old man must be an extraordinary figure. Master Cai, this is what happened in the ancient medicine hall today. The middle-aged man in the stewardess reported the report and looked at the old man sitting on the head respectfully. Needless to say, this old man is Cai Gaofeng, the chief steward of the city lord's mansion. As the chief steward of the city lord's mansion, Cai Gaofeng represents the face of the city lord's mansion. Although Zhu Anming is the steward of Shiqing district, he never dared to show any disrespect to Cai Gaofeng. It's just that Zhu Anming couldn't understand how the ancient medicine hall, such as the alchemy power, entered the eyes of Cai Gaofeng. Now it is the day when the Tsengshuan City Grand Meeting is held. Cai Gaofeng, the chief steward of the city's lord's mansion, unexpectedly several times a day, come to Shiqing district. Asked to monitor the movement of the ancient medicine hall, which made him the Shiqing district manager, but he couldn't understand how. Interesting, really interesting. I can't think that the kid is so fierce. It is a good method to kill Jiyu Fengjai's Ouyang Cheng as soon as he shot it. Cai Gaofeng said with a smile at the corner of his mouth, shaking his head and saying, unable to see whether it was anger or emotion. Zhu Anming felt bitter in his heart. After receiving Cai Gaoming's news, he had carefully investigated the ancient medicine hall, but found that the ancient medicine hall had nothing to do with the city lord's mansion, which made him very depressed. As a subordinate, the most important thing is to figure out what the upper person means. He doesn't think that Cai Gaofeng pays attention to the ancient medicine hall. It is only Cai Gaofeng's own business. The things that can make Cai Gaofeng, the chief steward of the city lord's mansion, care about it. Command. Otherwise, Cai Gaofeng doesn't need to be so careful. As the manager of Shiqing district, the most important thing for him is to figure out the attitude of the boss, whether he suspects that there is a problem with the ancient medicine hall, or he is optimistic about the ancient medicine hall. These are 2 completely different attitudes, which obviously represent 2 completely different attitudes. Processing method. Once the handling is bad, he doesn't have to be the manager of Shiqing district, and he may be beaten every minute. Alas, don't look at him as a manager in Shicheng district. He usually has 5 people and 6 people. Sometimes, it is really not easy to do well. Thinking of this, Zhu Anming gritted his teeth. No matter what, he must figure out the attitude of the city lord's mansion, otherwise, if there is any misunderstanding, he will be finished. Master CAI, it will be the Tsongshuan City event soon. During the event, the people in the ancient medicine hall dared to fight, or the subordinates sent people out to bring the people from the ancient medicine hall back, and something like this happened during the event. Isn't it my Kang who lost? Xuancheng's face. Zhu Anming said cautiously. Naturally, he was not a person who really wanted to catch the ancient medicine hall, he just wanted to figure out the attitude of the city lord's mansion. Okay, Zhu Anming, you don't want to guess. Cai Gaofeng glanced at Zhu Anming. He is a human spirit, how can he not understand Zhu Anming's little 99? To tell you the truth, the one that Jiyu Yarotang shot has something to do with the city lord's mansion. As for the specific relationship, this is not something you should know. Cai Gaofeng looked serious. You only need to know, once Jiyu Yarotang, if there is something, you must notify the old man as soon as possible. If the matter is urgent, you can handle it as appropriate, but if the other party violated the rules of Kangshuancheng and caused a major incident, you have to wait until the old man arrives before you can make a decision. Do you understand? Cai Gaofeng's tone was warning. The kid in the ancient medicine hall is the benefactor of the eldest lady. No matter what happens, he has to support the other party, otherwise the eldest lady will blame him, and he is still in the city lord's mansion. He is the chief steward of the city lord's mansion, and the first thing he considers is the city lord and the interests of the eldest lady. As for the rules of Tsongshuan City, he doesn't care at all. Yes, Master Cai, the subordinates understand this. Zhu Anming was taught a few words by Cai Gaofeng, and instead of being dissatisfied, he was relieved. He had a bottom in his heart now, and he knew how to deal with something that happened, otherwise he would have been hanging around and his soul would be scared. At the same time, I was deeply moved by this ancient medicine hall is actually related to the city lord's mansion. It's really unexpected. This ancient medicine hall does not show the mountains and the dew. When did it have a relationship with the city lord's mansion? And it was Master Cai who paid attention to him personally. TSK, if he can have a good relationship with Jiyu Yarotang, would he be able to get some light in the eyes of Master Cai? I have to say that this Zhu Anming can be the steward of Shicheng district. He is indeed capable. He immediately considered the affairs of the ancient medicine hall and his own future. In fact, compared with the ancient medicine hall, the ancient Fengzhai has more power, and it is also the top alchemy power in Shicheng district. The master Feng Buchuan of the ancient Fengzhai has some friendship with his Zhu Anming. But at this time, these plastic friendships were instantly forgotten by Zhu Anming. My brothers, I'm sorry, I hope you Jiyu Fengzhai can be more stable, otherwise Zumo and me, there is no way. Zhu Anming sighed in his heart, but he was a little excited. Although he said that, he was eager for something to happen to the ancient medicine hall. He could have a good relationship with the ancient medicine hall. Why didn't he see this ancient medicine before? How extraordinary is Tang. But it's not too late to make a relationship now. I have to say that someone like Zhu Anming is indeed someone who can use everything as a force in his official career. Zhu Anming's heart was ups and downs with excitement. He didn't know that Cai Gaofeng's heart fell completely. Hehe, that kid, there is such a big disturbance, it seems that it has nothing to do with the assassin of Wukong organization. What he was most worried about before was that Qin Chen and the previous assassins were actually a group, just performing a bitter show. Although this possibility is too low, it does not rule out such a possibility. He couldn't take even 1/1000th of the risk. But now I heard that Qin Chen had directly killed the master of Jiyu Fengzhai in the ancient medicine hall, and his heart was let go instead. Haha, if the other party is really an assassin, then using such a thing to attract the attention of the city lord's mansion is really idiot. This is totally unreasonable and totally illogical. Moreover, the contradiction between Jiyu Yarotang and Jiyu Fengzhai had existed a long time ago, which ruled out the possibility of deliberate arrangements by the other party. In this way, Qin Chen is very likely to be a master of the ancient Bell sect who has come to join the ancient medicine hall. No matter how he joins the ancient Bell sect, as long as he is not an assassin from the empty organization, then his city lord mansion will not mind. Qin Chen in the ancient medicine hall naturally did not know what was happening outside, and he was completely immersed in the refining of the Huanggu Ichi pill. This ridiculous ancient Ichi pill is the best of the mortal sacred pill. Even Qin Chen has to concentrate on it. Time passed bit by bit, and finally, after a full half-day passed, Qin Chen's refining finally came to an end. "Get up!" In the tense eyes of everyone, Qin Chen suddenly screamed, and the divine rainbow burst out of his eyes nearly 10 feet long, and his hands suddenly lined up on the deserted ancient Hungyu furnace. Boom! I could only hear a magnificent wild ancient aura rising into the sky. Bang! The furnace lid exploded, and a total of 12 quaint streamers rose into the sky, rumbling. Between the heavens and the earth, there was a roar suddenly, and then, 12 Dao Liuguang drips in the refining room. With the swift rotation, every stream of light bloomed with a breath of shock. The Huanggu Ichi pill was really successfully refined. The ancient medicine master looked at this scene in shock, completely sluggish, physically and mentally excited. The 12 pills of pills flickered in the void, and then fell into Qin Chen's hands. The Huanggu Ichi pill is indeed extraordinary. Qin Chen swept the Huanggu Ichi pill in his eyes, and his eyes flashed slightly. This Huanggu Ichi pill contained a special aura. Even he smelled it. The Saint Yuan in his body was eager to move. The feeling, and the soul power, also seems to be sublimated. It's no wonder that the ancient medicine master wants to refine the ancient Ichi pill. This pill can indeed greatly enhance the qualifications of a person to enter the realm of the earth. Little dust. Master Jiyu Yarrow looked at Qin Chen excitedly. Qin Chen snapped it casually. Bang! Huanggu Hungyu furnace had fallen in front of the ancient medicine master, and at the same time, the 2 Huanggu Ichi pills had also fallen into the hands of the ancient medicine master. These 2 wild ancient Ichi pills should be enough for you to improve yourself. Qin Chen laughed. The materials and things were all made by this ancient medicine master, so naturally he should give some benefits. Enough, completely enough, thanks for the less dust. The excited body of the ancient medicine master is trembling. How many times has he refined this ridiculous ancient Ichi pill? Without success, much material and energy was wasted. And Qin Chen? It only took 2 days to learn about it, and then it took only half a day to refine this ridiculous ancient Ichi pill. This kind of accomplishment makes the ancient medicine master disrespectful. At this moment, Master Ancient Medicine worshipped Qin Chen with all his heart. As for Qin Chen only gave 2 pills, the Master of Ancient Medicine has no opinion at all. Huanggu Ichi pill is different from the others. The first one has the best effect, and at most 1 additional one, but the effect is only half, and the third one has the best effect. Time, it has no effect at all. Up. Come on, Qin Ting. Qin Chen shot it casually, and immediately, the same 2 ancient Ichi pills fell into Qin Ting's hands. Little dust, I. Qin Ting looked at Qin Chen in surprise. Okay, let's not say, these 2 wild ancient Ichi pills are for you, but don't waste it for the time being. With your cultivation base, if you want to take this wild ancient Ichi pills and try to break through the Holy Land, it should take time. Consolidate. Qin Chen waved his hand. This pill was extremely precious to others, but for Qin Chen, as long as there were enough materials, he could refine as many as he wanted. Besides, there are 8 pieces left on his body, which is completely enough. After refining the pill, the sky was already dark, and the entire Tsongshuan city fell into silence. The ancient medicine master clenched his fists excitedly. With this ridiculous ancient Ichi pill, even if the people from Jiyu Fangzhai come to the door tomorrow, there is no need to worry at all. The ancient medicine master breathed a sigh of relief, and was full of resentment in his heart. He didn't think that Jiyu Fangzhai had actually made the materials for himself at the beginning. Thanks to Xiao Chen, otherwise he would be kept in the dark when he died. Master of ancient medicine, do you still want to give this ridiculous ancient Ichi pill to the people of Jiyu Fangzhai? Qin Chen suddenly smiled. This, isn't it? Yes, But Jiyu Fengzhai has to dare to come and ask. Qin Chen snorted, his eyes flickered, and said lightly, Master of ancient medicine, give me all the refining materials in this ancient medicine hall, this is rarely useful. Yes, little dust. The ancient medicine master directly gave Qin Chen his storage ring. Little dust, this storage ring contains many top refining materials and refining materials from my ancient medicine hall. There are some medicinal pills that the old man refined in the past. Take it. After experiencing all this, the ancient medicine master completely surrendered to Qin Chen and obeyed Qin Chen's words. Little dust, do you want it? Shang Gukong's eyes flashed, revealing a suspicious look. Hehe, you guessed it right. Qin Chen smiled, then his figure shook. He had already arrived in the ancient medicine hall, and began to arrange the formation. Jiyu Fengzhai is said to have a mid-earth sage master, and Qin Chen doesn't think he is now an opponent of the mid-earth sage powerhouse, but on his own territory, if the Jiyu Fengzhai people really dare to make trouble, they are even a mid-earth sage master. Also have to. I'm lying on my stomach. This time, Qin Chen did not save costs. In addition to setting up a defensive array in the ancient medicine hall, he also set up an extremely terrifying attack array inside. In addition, he also arranged the 10,000 Saint Demon Slayer array in the ancient medicine hall. This 10,000 Saint Demon Slayer array is the top-level formation in the tool hall. It is not as simple as an ordinary saint array. Ruyun, even the Holy Lord has appeared, this 10,000 saints. Once the Demon Slayer array is mobilized to the extreme, although it may not be able to kill the master of the Earth Saint middle grade, it will cause trouble to the opponent and there is still no problem. What's more, with Qin Chen's level of formation close to the ground, coupled with the fact that the holy crystal smashed down, he personally urged, the power is even more terrifying, since the people of Jiyu Fengzhai dare to come, don't want to get out easily. If Qin Chen's cultivation base breaks through the Earth Sage, and then presides over this 10,000 sage-slaying demon array, even a master of the late Earth Sage, Qin Chen will dare to be there for a while, and even drink hatred in this array. And what Qin Chen focused on was the hall of the ancient medicine hall. If people from Jiyu Fengzhai came, the location would definitely be in this hall. It was very likely that this would be the first battlefield. Qin Chen has another plan for setting up the battlefield here. He wants everyone to know that from now on, Jiyu Yarotang can't just make up his mind. Jiyu Fengzhai wants to annex Jiyu Yarotang, and Qin Chen does the same. To destroy the ancient Fengzhai, Yang. The prestigious name of ancient medicine hall. In addition, Qin Chen also refined and produced a signboard of Chundi Pavilion, which was hung on the gate of the ancient medicine hall that night. This will be the first time that Chundi Pavilion has been in heaven. Even Qin Chen would enter the universe jade plate every time he refines the formation flag, refining at 30 times the flow rate, and Qin Chen arranged all the formations only when the sky was overwhelming. All is ready except for the opportunity. Qin Chen waited quietly in the ancient medicine hall, only waiting for the people from Jiyu Fengzhai to come. Sure enough, as soon as it got light, many people had already arrived outside the ancient medicine hall. This is all about the grievances between Jiyu Yarotang and Jiyu Fengzhai. Hey, how did this ancient medicine hall change its name? Suddenly, someone saw the revised plaque, and suddenly he was surprised. Yes, it was the ancient medicine hall yesterday. Why was it changed to Chundi Pavilion overnight? What the ***** is Chundi Pavilion? I have never heard of it. I haven't heard of it. Weikang Xian City doesn't have such a power, right? Could it be that Jiyu Yarotang knew that it angered Jiyu Fengzhai, so it took refuge in other forces? But even if it takes refuge, it's not so fast, right? The crowd talked a lot and was very lively. Less dust, be careful, I don't think the people of Jiyu Fengzhai will give up. The ancient medicine master and others also stood in the hall, and said nervously, Jiyu Yarotang is one level worse than Jiyu Fengzhai after all. Even with Qin Chen, the ancient medicine master will inevitably lack confidence. What are you afraid of? Qin Chen said, okay, I have been busy all night and I am exhausted, so I will go to rest first, and you will notify me when the people from Jiyu Fengzhai are here. Qin Chen yawned, turned around and left. Arranging the big formation, after all, was too exhausting, and Qin Chen couldn't handle it. Fortunately, he has a jade disc of good fortune, and he rests in it for an hour, which is equivalent to more than 1 day in the outside world, and he has enough time to rest. Seeing that Qin Chen had left like this, the ancient medicine master was a little dumbfounded, and Xiao Chen's heart was too big, right? Jiyu Fengzhai will come later, doesn't he need to prepare? Kong Lao. The ancient medicine master turned around and was about to say something to Shang Gukong, and Shang Gukong also yawned. Guyao master, I will also go to rest first. If you have anything, let me know as soon as possible. The old man must be there immediately. When the words fell, Shang Gukong and Qin Tingting also went to rest. The ancient medicine master is completely speechless. Can these guys rely on the spectrum? When are you going to rest? My hall master, this little dust, is it reliable? Ariane Shiren came to the ancient medicine master, his eyes flashed, and couldn't help saying, if it is really not possible, I can't help but give in. Jiyu Fengzhai thought to annex our ancient medicine hall, nothing more than. If you want to strengthen yourself, with your alchemy master, even if you offend Jiyu Fengzhai, the other party shouldn't be cruel to you, it's better. Shut up. The ancient medicine master glanced coldly at An Shiren, his face a little embarrassed. Shun Lao, you say this for my own good, I don't care about it, but you are never allowed to say second. Second, since we have taken refuge in less dust, we can't. Half-hearted, otherwise, what face does the old man have to continue to mix in this Tsunxuan city? Hallmaster, too. Okay, don't say anything. If you say this again, you can blame me for turning my face and not acknowledging people. Yes. An Shiren lowered his head, a trace of coldness flashed in his eyes, but did not say anything. The sky gradually brightened. In order to meet the upcoming troubles, the ancient medicine hall was not open at all today, but outside the ancient medicine hall, many people were surrounded, even more lively than before. It was getting late, and the people of Jiyu Fengzhai hadn't come. The ancient medicine master was very nervous at first, but at this moment he was a little impatient. Finally, when the sky was approaching noon, the people of Jiyu Fengzhai finally came. And a large number of people came as soon as they came. Little dust. The ancient medicine master notified Qin Chen the first time. Qin Chen had been waiting for a bit of boring. When he got the news, he immediately went to the hall. He was not afraid of these people coming, he was afraid they would not come. If the Jiyu Fengzhai people really don't come, or use other methods, he really doesn't have a good way to deal with it. Now they are here, obviously in their own calculations. With the strength of Jiyu Fengzhai, since he is determined to annex the ancient medicine hall, he will definitely take a positive form and disdain at all. What's more, Qin Chen killed Ouyang Cheng of Jiyu Fengzhai yesterday, just giving them an excuse. Did you notify the governing house? Qin Chen asked immediately. If Jiyu Fengzhai came to make trouble, the official forces of Tsunxuan City must be notified. Qin Chen had already instructed the ancient medicine master to notify the Guan Shifu as soon as Jiyu Fengzhai's people came, but Qin Chen didn't know it, and actually didn't use it at all. He informed. The government is always paying attention to the ancient medicine hall. Of course, Qin Chen's notification to the Guan Shifu did not mean seeking help from the Guan Shifu, but since he wanted to establish power in Tsunxuan City, the official forces of the Tsunxuan City still had to notify it. As long as he notified it, the Guan Shifu would be afterwards. It is impossible to say no. No. The ancient medicine master nodded and said, when the people from Jiyu Fengzhai came, I had already sent someone to notify, but the governor had no response at all, as if he didn't intend to control it at all. Qin Chen sneered, and he sneered at the ancient medicine. The master said, you don't need to be in charge of the government office, they know it, go, you go call Shang Gukong and An Shiren out, ready to fight, as for the others, wait and stay still, the cultivation level is too low, come out. It is also troublesome. Qin Chen believes that this time Jiyu Fengzhai came here in a rage, with a vengeance. He didn't need to see it, and knew that there was no possibility of compromise. The only way in the end was that the two sides would fight each other, unless he was ancient. Yao Tang I Chen. There is still some room for change in serving Jiyu Fengzhai, but Qin Chen never let Jiyu Yaotang submit to Jiyu Fengzhai. After Qin Chen, ancient medicine master, Shong Gukong, and Ariane Shiren came to the reception hall of the ancient medicine hall, they found that there were already 7 or 8 strong people sitting here. After seeing the cultivation bases of these 8 warriors, Qin Chen's eyes flashed. This ancient Fengzhai's so big handwriting. As soon as it came, 8 local sage powerhouses came, and the leader of them was a mid-earth sage. There are 2 people who are the first peak of Earth Saint and the last. 5 people are the early days of Di Sage. These 5 people were sitting here, and the terrifying aura radiating from them immediately made the entire ancient medicine hall shiver. Qin Chen felt that the mid-sage powerhouse was sitting there. His whole person was like a mountain, giving people an unmatched feeling, indeed, amazing. It's no wonder that Jiyu Yarotang didn't dare to go against Jiyu Fengzhai. The strength of the 2 sides was too far apart. Ancient Medicine Hall had only Ayanshan, a strong early Earth Sage, but Jiyu Fengzhai had 9 Earth Sage Masters in total. Not above 1 level. At this time, the warrior of the Mid-Earth Sage was sitting on the top, and the other 8 Earth Sage powerhouses were sitting on both sides of him. He saw Qin Chen coming in, with a hint of sarcasm at the corners of his mouth, and said coldly, "Since you are here, just sit down." It seems that this is his site, not the hall of the ancient medicine hall. Master Jiyu Yarrow was about to speak immediately. Qin Chen waved his hand, and instead sat down first, but did not speak. Although the opponent's strength is much stronger than him, since he dares to come to this hall, he doesn't need to be afraid. In addition to the 10,000 sacred devil slayer array, Qin Chen also arranged a trapped array and a killing array in this hall, both of which were comparable to the large formations of the land. Qin Chen believed that under his auspices, this great formation could easily kill the warriors in the early stage of the Earth Sage, and only the warriors of the Middle Earth Sage would be troublesome, but it was nothing. There is a saying in the heavens called Ning Yu Hao, "Don't mess with the king of formation." But Qin Chen happens to be a player of formation. Although Qin Chen wasn't the king of the battle, he was not inferior to anyone in the battle. "You killed Ouyang Cheng of my Jiyu Fengzhai yesterday. You are so courageous." Seeing Qin Chen's fearlessness, Jiyu Fengzhai's master Feng Buchuan suddenly burned with anger and said in a cold tone. He thought that what he saw would be Qin Chen's horrified expression, but who would have thought that the other party was so calm that the unhappiness in his heart could not be suppressed immediately. This video will end here.